Look, I'm about to tell you something that's going to upset a lot of people, especially the gurus out there selling you $2,000 courses on how to start a business. You don't need $10,000 to start a business. You don't need $5,000. You don't even need $1,000. Bob, if I had to start completely over in 2026 with nothing but $100 in my pocket, I could build a real business. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do it, step by step, no fluff, no BS. Here's the thing, the game has changed. Technology has leveled the playing field in ways that people still don't fully understand. The tools that used to cost thousands of dollars are now free or nearly free. The barriers that used to keep regular people out of business, they're gone, completely gone. The only barrier left is you, your willingness to do the work, your willingness to learn, your willingness to get uncomfortable. So if you're sitting there thinking you need more money, more connections, or more luck to start a business, I'm going to prove you wrong in the next 25 minutes. Now, before I get into this, let me give you some context on why you should listen to me. I've been broke, like really broke. I'm talking about sleeping on the floor with 6 guys in a 3-bedroom apartment broke. I was a bartender. I sold garbage bags door to door. I got fired from my job at a computer store because I wanted to close a deal instead of sweep the floors. And yeah, I eventually sold a company for $5,000 billion. I own the Dallas Mavericks. I've invested in hundreds of companies on Shark Tank. But here's what people don't realize: I didn't start with money. I didn't start with connections. I started with hustle and a willingness to learn everything I could about the opportunity in front of me. I've been rich and I've been poor. Trust me, rich is better. But I also know exactly what it takes to go from one to the other. And it's not about the money you start with. It's about the work you're willing to put in. So when I tell you that you can start a business with $100, I'm not giving you some theoretical concept. I'm giving you the same mentality that took me from sleeping on the floor to owning a basketball team. Now, if this is the kind of real talk you want more of, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. I'm not here to sell you a course. I'm not here to get you into some funnel. I'm here to give you the actual playbook that works. No gatekeeping, no secrets behind a paywall. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join this community of hustlers who are actually building something instead of just talking about it. And while you're at it, drop a like on this video. It helps more people find this content, and honestly, if this video helps even one person get off the sidelines and start their business, that's a win. All right, let's get into it. Here's the thing that drives me absolutely crazy. I talk to people all the time who say they want to start a business. They've got ideas, they've got dreams, they've got vision boards and Pinterest boards and notebooks full of concepts. But when I ask them what they've actually done, the answer is almost always the same: nothing. Why? Because they're waiting. They're waiting for the perfect idea. They're waiting for enough money. They're waiting for someone to give them permission. They're waiting for the stars to align and the universe to send them a sign. I'm going to be real with you. That's not how it works. That's never how it worked. The universe doesn't reward waiting. It rewards action. Everyone wants the shortcut. Everyone wants the hack. Everyone wants to skip the hard part and go straight to the success. But there is no shortcut. There is no hack. The hard part is the path. And if you're not willing to embrace that, you're never going to make it. You know what separates successful entrepreneurs from everyone else? It's not intelligence, it's not creativity, it's not even luck. It's the willingness to start before you're ready. It's the willingness to look stupid. It's the willingness to fail publicly, learn from it, and keep going anyway. The gurus won't tell you that because it doesn't sell courses. But I'm telling you because it's the truth. Now, before I show you the exact business I'd start with 100, let me give you the framework I use to evaluate any opportunity. This is how I think about starting lean. Number 1, the business has to have near zero startup costs. If you need to buy inventory, rent a space, or invest in expensive equipment before you make your first dollar, that's the wrong business for someone starting with $100. You need a business where your primary investment is your time and effort. Number 2, the business has to be able to generate revenue fast. I'm talking days or weeks, not months or years. You need cash flow. Cash flow is oxygen for a new business. Without it, you die. Number 3, the business has to be something you can learn as you go. You don't need to be an expert on day one. You just need to be willing to learn faster than your competition. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Number 4, the business has to be scalable, but it doesn't need to start scalable. You can start doing things that don't scale, like trading your time for money. But there needs to be a path to eventually building systems, hiring people, or creating leverage. Number 5, the business has to solve a real problem. Not a fake problem you invented, not a nice to have. A real pain point that people will actually pay money to solve. If an opportunity checks all 5 of these boxes, you've got something worth pursuing. So what business would I start in 2026 with just $100? All right, here's the play. And I'm going to break this down in detail because I want you to actually be able to do this, not just think about it. The business model I choose is an AI-powered service business. Look, we're living in 2026. Artificial intelligence has completely changed the game. Tools like ChatPeat, Claude, Midjourney, and dozens of others have made it possible for one person to do the work that used to require an entire team. This is the biggest shift in business since the internet, and most people are sleeping on it. Here's the thing: most small businesses, local businesses, entrepreneurs, and content creators know they need to be using AI. They've heard about it, they've read the headlines, but they have no idea how to actually implement it. They're busy running their business. They don't have time to learn every new tool. They don't have time to figure out which prompts work best. They don't have time to integrate AI into their workflows. That's where you come in. You're going to become an AI implementation specialist. You're going to help businesses save time and money by setting up AI systems for them. And you're going to start with $100 or less. Here's the exact breakdown of how I'd spend that $100 on ChatGPT or Claude free tier to learn the tools and start practicing. You don't need the paid version right away. The free versions are powerful enough to get started. $20 on a domain name for your business. Something simple like iassistpro.com or your own name. Keep it clean and professional. $0 on a free website builder like Card, Notion, or WordPress.com. You don't need a fancy website. You need a page that explains what you do and how to contact you. Files $30 on a Canva Pro subscription for 1 month to create professional-looking graphics, proposals, and presentations. This is optional, but it makes you look legit. $0 on LinkedIn and social media for prospecting and outreach. This is where you're going to find your first clients. $50 as a buffer for unexpected expenses or to run a small ad test if you want to experiment. Total, $100 or less. Probably more like $50 if you're scrappy. Now let me walk you through exactly how to execute this. Step 1. Learn the tools inside and out. Before you can sell AI services, you need to actually understand what AI can do. And I'm not talking about surface level understanding, I'm talking about deep knowledge. Spend the first 1 to 2 weeks doing nothing but learning. Use ChatGPT for everything. Use Claude. Experiment with image generators. Try automation tools like Zapier and Make. Here's the thing, this learning is free. You don't need to pay for a course. You don't need a certification. You just need to use the tools obsessively until you understand their capabilities and limitations. When I was starting out in the computer business, I read every trade magazine I could get my hands on. I stayed up late learning about technology while everyone else was partying. That knowledge became my competitive advantage. On in 22.6, your competitive advantage is understanding AI better than the people you're selling to. And that understanding comes from doing the work. There are no shortcuts. Step 2. Pick a niche. Here's where most people mess up. They try to serve everyone. They say, I can help any business with IA. That's too broad. It's not compelling. It doesn't differentiate you. Instead, pick a specific niche. The more specific, the better. Here are some examples. IA content creation for real estate agents. IA customer service automation for e-commerce stores. IA social media management for fitness coaches. IA email marketing for local restaurants. AI workflow automation for law firms. When you pick a niche, you become an expert in that niche's specific problems. You can speak their language. You can show relevant examples. You can charge more because you're specialized. I'm going to be real with you, specialization is scary because it feels like you're limiting your opportunities. But the opposite is true. Specialization makes you memorable. Generalists are forgettable. Think about it like sports. Would you rather have a player who's okay at everything or a specialist who's the best in the league at one thing? The specialist gets paid more every time. Step 3. Create a simple offer. Your offer doesn't need to be complicated. In fact, it shouldn't be. Complicated offers confuse people, and confused people don't buy. Here's a simple offer structure. I'll set up an AI system that's specific outcome for your type of business. You'll save time, money estimate every week. The investment is price, and I guarantee you'll see results within time frame or I'll refund your money. For example, I'll set up an AI content system that creates 30 days of social media posts in 2 hours for your real estate business. You'll save 10 plus hours every month. It's measurable. It has a guarantee. It's easy to say yes to. Now, some of you might be thinking, 500? Who's going to pay me 500 when I'm just starting out? Here's what I know from 40 years of business. People pay for value, not experience. If you can genuinely save a business owner 10 hours a month, that's worth way more than 500 to them. You're not selling your time. You're selling results. Sales cure everything. And if you can sell the outcome, not the process, you'll close deals. Step 4. Get your first client for free or cheap. This is where sweat equity is the best equity. Your first client is not about money, it's about proof, it's about getting a testimonial, a case study, and real-world experience. Here's what I do. Reach out to 50 people in your niche, not with a sales pitch, with value. Send them a message like this: "Hey name, I notice your business type is growing. I specialize in helping niche use A to save time on specific tasks. I'd love to set up a system for you completely free, no strings attached. All I ask is that if you're happy with the results, you give me a testimonial I can use." Interested? Out of 50 messages, you'll probably get 5-10 responses. Out of those, you'll probably close 2-3 free clients. Do an amazing job for those free clients. Document everything. Get their testimonial on video if possible. Screenshot the results. Now you have proof. Now you have credibility. Now you can start charging. Step 5. Scale through outreach and referrals. Once you have proof, the game changes. Now your outreach includes testimonials. Now you can say, "I helped client name save 15 hours a month with this I system. Here's what they said about it." That's infinitely more powerful than "I can help you with I." Here's the thing about referrals: happy clients talk. If you do a great job for someone, they're going to tell their friends. They're going to post about it. They're going to introduce you to other business owners. Word of mouth is the cheapest and most powerful marketing on the planet. But you only get it by being excellent at what you do. So don't just deliver good work, deliver exceptional work. Over-communicate, over-deliver, make your clients feel like they're your only client. I learned this early in my career. When I was selling software, I didn't just sell the product. I became my client's trusted advisor. I solved problems they didn't even ask me to solve. And they rewarded me with loyalty and referrals. Now, I want to pause here and ask you something. Drop a comment below and tell me what's stopping you from starting a business right now. Is it money? Is it fear? Is it not knowing what to do? Be honest, because I'm going to address the most common objections in a minute. And while you're at it, if you're finding value in this video, hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds and it helps this content reach more people who need to hear it. All right, let's keep going. Here's where I need to get real with you about something. Everything I just described, the learning, the niching, the outreach, the client work, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes sacrifice. I'm not going to lie to you and say this is easy. It's not. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But here's the thing, everyone has the same 24 hours. You, me, Elon Musk, the kid down the street, we all get the same amount of time every day. The difference is what you do with those hours. While you're scrolling TikTok, someone else is learning A tools. While you're binge watching Netflix, someone else is sending outreach messages. While you're hitting the snooze button, someone else is getting up early to work on their business. Work like someone is trying to take it from you 24/7. Because guess what? Someone is. There's someone out there right now who wants the same success you want, and they're willing to work for it. The question is, are you? When I was building micro solutions, I was the first one in the office and the last one to leave. Not because someone made me, because I knew that my effort was the only thing I could control. I couldn't control the market. I couldn't control my competitors, but I could control how hard I worked. And that work ethic is what separated me from everyone else. If you're not willing to outwork people, you're not going to make it. That's not pessimism. That's just reality. But if you are willing to outwork people, there's literally nothing that can stop you. Not your background, not your education, not your bank account, nothing. All right, here's what I want you to do today, not tomorrow, not this weekend, today. Action step 1, download ChatGPT or Claude if you haven't already. Spend 30 minutes using it, ask it to help you with something real, write an email, create a social media post, solve a problem. Get familiar with how it works. Action step 2, pick your niche. Decide who you want to serve. Write it down. Be specific. I help type of business. Do specific thing using IA. Page 1's vague. Mimi and buy is shade AI. Action step 3, create a simple one-page website explaining what you do. Use Card, Notion, or any free website builder. This should take you less than 2 hours. Action step 4, make a list of 50 potential clients in your niche. Use LinkedIn, Google Maps, Instagram, wherever they hang out. Write down their names and contact information. Action step 5, send your first 10 outreach messages. Offer to help them for free in exchange for a testimonial. Don't overthink it, just send the messages. That's it. 5 actions. You can do all of this today if you're serious. You don't need money, you need effort. Ideas are worthless. We're seeing execution is everything. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Mark, that sounds great, but let me handle the objections right now. I don't have time. Look, I don't want to hear it. If you want it badly enough, you'll make time. Wake up an hour earlier, use your lunch break. Cut out 1 hour of TV at night. Everyone has the same 24 hours. It's about priorities, not time. I'm not tech savvy. Neither was I when I started. I learned. The tools today are more user-friendly than ever. If you can use a smartphone, you can learn iTools. It just takes practice. I don't know anyone. Good. Neither did I when I started. That's what outreach is for. You don't need connections. You need to create connections, send cold messages, show up in communities, provide value. Connections come from effort, not luck. What if I fail? You will fail. I guarantee it. You'll send messages that get ignored. You'll lose clients. You'll make mistakes. That's part of the process. Fail fast, learn faster. Every failure is a lesson that gets you closer to success. I don't have any experience. Experience comes from doing. You're not going to get experience by reading about it or thinking about it. You get experience by taking action, screwing up, and figuring it out. Your first client doesn't care about your resume. They care about whether you can solve their problem. The only excuse that's valid is, I don't want it badly enough. And if that's the case, that's fine. Not everyone is cut out for entrepreneurship, but don't pretend it's about money or time or connections. Those are just stories you're telling yourself. Here's what I want you to understand. The opportunity in front of you right now is bigger than anything I had when I started. The tools are better. The information is more accessible. The playing field is more level than it's ever been. You don't need permission. You don't need investors. You don't need a fancy degree or a rich uncle. You just need 100 and the willingness to work harder than everyone else. The best investment you can make is in yourself. And starting a business is the ultimate investment in yourself. You're betting on your own ability to figure things out, to add value, to solve problems. That bet has the highest return of anything you could invest in. So here's what I need from you. Smash that like button if this video gave you value. Subscribe if you want more real talk about business and entrepreneurship, and most importantly, take action. Today, not tomorrow. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who's been talking about starting a business but hasn't pulled the trigger. Send it to them, tell them it's time. Look, the world doesn't reward ideas, it rewards action. There are millions of people with great ideas who never do anything with them. And there are people with mediocre ideas who execute like crazy and build empires. Which one are you going to be? If you're not learning, you're standing still. If you're not taking action, you're moving backward. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. So stop waiting, stop making excuses, stop looking for the perfect moment, do the work. There are no shortcuts. Now go out there and outwork everyone. I'll see you in the next video.